Hello, 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 hello. Welcome to my channel, Life as It Is. Oh, teach and practice. As you can see, the heading teach and practice. Teach and practice. So, I went on teach and practice. I was assigned the grade 5, 10, 11 years old. Right? Ah, well, it was an eye opener. Um, the teaching aspect of it was great. Just getting to the school, taking part in devotional exercises, um, getting lessons out there. My specialty was language arts and social studies. So I had to do a little reading up on language arts, a little reading up, much reading up, not a little, much on language arts and social studies. Let me tell you, it was it was awesome. And let me tell you something. It's good when you're going out on practice to stand before the mirror, take a lesson plan, and pretend that the students are in front of you and you practice and practice and practice. Well, I had the advantage over most of the persons who went to practice because I am already in the classroom, right? So for me, management was nothing. It's just that the age group differs. But the older ones, class I was in, oh God, just spectacular. The teacher, spectacular. Students, they had their time, when they will get off and their behavior will go through the roof. But the teacher had very good class management. So they were respectful for the most part when we were engaging them in their lessons, which was good for us as practicing teachers. Anyway, it was just awesome. Everything was good. But it opened my eyes to a lot of things that are in the school. Students' attitude, students' attitude for learning. Like an airplane that is going down. That was the students, most of the students' attitude. They needed strong guidance, strong supervision, strong mentoring, strong discipline measures. At first I thought only high school students loiter, but surprise, surprise, there's a lot of loitering at the primary schools. And I must say, teachers alone cannot do it. Teachers alone cannot do it because if you have teachers going to each section, it's going to need more help. It's going to need more assistant with supervision. It's going to need more help, assistant with disciplining, lightering, calling classes, measures will have to be put in place for these things because it is the loitering and the sculling of classes that is causing the results that we are getting now from the PEP and from the CXC results. No, loitering, loitering. I'm not going to speak about the parents yet because another discussion which will be held here. But I just want to speak on the attitude of the students. From observation, Most students were not interested in learning. You had some barely put out the effort, some just can't bother. And I saw students just can't bother, and you'll tell them like 100 times, we're waiting for the work. And the teacher will tell them, their main teacher will say to them, waiting on the work, and the work was not done, you know. And my strategy was to take the calm route of it. So instead of the threats to get the work, do it another way. So you would have said, deal with the matter first before we deal with the academics. What is the problem? What is happening at home? How are you feeling? Why are you not up to doing work? What is happening here? What is wrong? You have to fix the mental before we can touch the academics. And I saw a lot of that. So a lot of that, they really, really needed the mentorship. Really needed the mentorship. It's quite difficult for teachers. You have to be ensuring that the curriculum is being followed. So you have to make sure the lesson plans are written, and then to exercise this lesson to the children so they learn from what you have presented to them. And then to be supervising the bathroom, loitering, scoring of classes. It's it was a lot. It was it was a lot. And one of the things I noticed with the attitude in the children, the violence. You're playing with your friend, your peer. One big licking on them back, bloop, and you're playing. Remember now, you're hurting the other person. So how does that classify as you playing? It's children, they needed the mentorship. They needed to know what was right from what was wrong. What was acceptable behavior from what was unacceptable behavior. It's like they were having an identity crisis. They did not know who they were. Who am I? What is it that I can accomplish as a person? What are my strong points? What are my weaknesses? It was quite challenging. You could see some of them needed the desperate help, really needed the help, the mentorship, supervision. You know, Persons were trying, but just imagine it's lunchtime, thousand and some students running all about the place. It's so difficult to manage these students, for one person at least to manage these students. One person cannot do it. You know the saying, it takes a village to raise the children. I don't think some of us really realize what exactly that saying means. But one person couldn't do it. One teacher couldn't do it. One groundsman couldn't do it. One bathroom attendant couldn't do it. One tuck shop person who sells in the tuck shop. One cook just couldn't be done. It had to be everybody's business to get it done. Another observation was the loitering. I am not sure. I know that one of the reasons why children loiter is sometimes the lesson is not interesting enough for them. And sometimes, as educators, we may focus more on the cognitive side of it. So we don't focus a lot on the creative side, which is the art and craft side, the musical side, where they can dance and do drama, role play, and all of that. Um, Disclaimer: I am not a, let me say, primary school guidance counselor. I am just making my statements on what I observed, right? So I'm not a counselor. Let me put that out there. I'm not a counselor. I am just a teacher. Okay? All right. And so for the loitering, the interest. How do I get to loitering as a child? What is in my mind that I do 11 or 10 subjects at school and none of them is interested to me? How is that possible? How did they get to there? You know, the bathroom. What is it that you do in the bathroom? It's not always freshly smelling. Why would you want to loiter in the bathroom? These are some of the things I observed, and I am seeing where Jamaican children have a serious problem in the schools. Another thing I observed, some students were just at school for playing. They were just there for playing. It was playtime all the time. There was no time to settle down and get something done. It was just time for playing. Now we have this motto out there that through play every child can learn, but it's not everything must be done in play. Not everything must be done in drama. Not everything must be done in role play. Even if those are your stronger points, there are other ways to manage yourself. I was really, really concerned. It's like to get to a solution for those things, you would have to do like a soldier regiment camp where the school is run like a camp, a soldier camp where they, I'm not remembering the word now, but they'll walk the compound to ensure that these students are where they are supposed to be. It was it was an observation that really, I wouldn't say it caused my heart a pain, but it was a bit heart-rending because you are saying these are the students that will be our future leaders. And when I say leaders, I'm not talking about political leaders, but I'm talking about educational leaders, business leaders. Are these the persons that we're going to put out there? No, let me get to the parents. The complaints were a lot. Parents need to do better. And when I say need to do better as parents, you need to ensure that when you give that child that $1,500 and that $1,000, and I hear that some persons are carrying $3,000 to school. No, good for you, because my child will not be getting 3,000 to school. And you need to ensure that the investment you make in that lunch money, some children go with buses, some children have a snack bag full like the supermarket shelves. You need to ensure as parents that the money you invest in that lunch money, you're getting returns on it. Because people don't invest unless they're getting returns. Your returns don't have to be financial, but your returns can be an upstanding citizen that can stand proudly and you can say, I am the mother or the father of that child. Amen, amen, amen. I want to go into preaching. I'm that person. I will just talk, talk, talk. But I won't do it today. But I'm just saying my observations, they were a bit heart-rending, knowing that students waste time, they waste time, they waste time. We must have strong parents behind these students. You cannot wait until your child reach grade 4 to do the PEP and you realize he doesn't know the 2 time or the 3 time timetable. How is he going to do the cross multiplication? How is he going to do the long divisions? How is he going to find the area of a square or a circle or the area of a triangle, the perimeters of shapes? How is he going to do algebra? How is he going to find expressions, equations? How is your child going to do that? When you wait on as a parent, you let him waste time at grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, grade 4, and when he come in contact with PEP in grade 4, it is no time. You are running up and down. My child does not know the 3 time table. And you see the parents who like to talk about teacher in front of the child. Be very careful because that will just come back to bite you in the air. If you know what I mean, it will come back and bite you. Be careful as parents. We must put our foot down with these children. These children needs proper supervision. And as I said, I am talking from the observations I made. These students need proper supervision. You cannot wait until your child is in K3. And I always say that to my parents. Child coming from nursery, pass through K1, don't know one letter out of the 26 letters of the alphabet. You sit down comfortable, reach K2. Child still can't even form, put a sentence together. Huh? And then you want to run up and down like mad people and say, why? But too late is going to be your call. You should have done that from the very beginning. No child is too young to be disciplined. No child is too young to learn. The complaints were a lot for the parents. Your child cannot get in trouble and you come to meeting and you're sitting on your phone. You sit on your phone and I'm gonna be late for work, and you are here for a serious matter that got your child suspended, and you are going to say you're going to be on your phone. We need to put down the phones and monitor the children. The phones take up too much of our times as parents, and we are in our house and we have this child looking at us, and when you go out to the road, persons are complaining that is a total different picnic you have when you send him out there. As I said, those are some of the things I observe. We need to do better as parents. We need to do better as parents. Some of us are too relaxed. And when the ass gone through the gate, we're trying to catch up with this horse, but him done gone already. What are we going to do? Can't do nothing. 'Cause if you never have a rope round his neck for hold him, he's already gone through the gate. You must be on par with your child's academics. Know what your child is doing. Don't just send him out there every day, 5 days a week, and you don't know what is happening. I make sure I am on the PTAs. I want to hear what is happening there. I want to hear what is happening in the evenings. My children will share with me what went on at school. Sometimes the stories are so long and Sometimes you're tired and you really don't want to hear the story, but just let them talk and let them talk. Let them talk and ease pressure off their chest. Because it's a big pressure when things happen at school. It's I said to myself, it's really a sad place we live. We're living in a sad world. When I look at some of our children, we are not at a good place in this country that we love. We're not at a good place. And we need to do something because every day it gets worse and worse. 12-year-old a rape 6-year-old Pickney. Pickney just got grade one. How you end up in that mess? Come on. Come on. We need to do better as parents, and I made sure I left the parents conversation for last, because if discipline is in the home and discipline is at school, then you'll certainly get some disciplined upstanding citizens in the future. Take the pity them off of the TikTok. And not everything they must be in, especially the small kids. Take them off of it. Cut them time on YouTube. They have what is called family link. You can put on the parental guidance and cut off their phones all for hours. Let them go take up their books. When we were children, our parents used to run us to take up our books, and it's like some of us want to be friends with our children. I don't want to be best friends with them. I am here to guide them. That is what I am here to do. I am not here to be best friends with them. I am supposed to be in charge of them, learning them how to be upstanding citizens and not to be a plague to society. Eh? Yes, I know the words are harsh. It's for all of us. Even me, I learn every day. I learn every day because you have to keep up with the trends to know, especially with these teenagers, to know what they are talking about, what they are singing, what they are saying out there, what is the conversation that they are having out there while your back is turned. Does this child come from a Christian home? When he's out here, does he portray those Christian living, those Christian principles? Huh? Do you know anything about your child? Do you know his friends? Do you know who him a par with? Do you know? Listen to me. It is a serious thing. Parenting is a serious matter, and you're not going to get it right all the time. Because I don't get it right all the time. Sometimes I make rash decision. Sometimes I make decisions that don't make any sense, and I have to go back and redo and regroup and recreate. But we can't leave it like that. You can't have the pin and pan tablet 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and it's a school night. When did we get there? It's a school night. The child should be in his bed. By 8:30, children should be in their bed. I don't care how old they are. If you're under 18 and you're in my house, it's bedtime for you. You have school in the morning. And that is why some of them are so cranky and miserable when they get to school and don't want to do anything, because they spend all this time on the tablet, right? Sucking up their little brain. Their little brains are sucking up all kinds of nonsense and this foreign living that Jamaica is not even. Right now, I don't even class Jamaica as a third world country because it's like what's the when plane a land of a crash. Because we want to get there, but our people are not getting there. They're not putting out the effort to get there to that first world country. So I don't know. This was probably one of the longest videos. I was so passionate. I mean, I enjoyed the practice and everything, but the observations I made, parents, pull up on the socks. Your children are going to go out there and embarrass you. They're going to shame on you like dog. Let us get it together as parents. All right. As I said, I'm not a counselor. I just made, I just shared my statements according to the observations I made while I was on the practice. All right. So remember to like, share, and subscribe to Life as It Is for more memorable stories, eh? All right. Enjoy.